true.
Morning.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It's Linda and Elaine from Sierra Sewing Quilting and Vacuums in Reno and Carson City, Nevada. And we're here again on one of our wonderful Wednesdays for What's New. We have lots of new fabric and new ideas to do with some of our fabric that's been here just a little bit and just
fun stuff.
Things. Yes,
Getting ready for the season. I mean, I know we just all finished Easter. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter. It was great. The weather was beautiful.
We forgot to say Happy Easter last
I know.
right after. I was like,
we had so much to talk about last week. We kind of got, a little squirreled.
Yes, yes. So, again, everything we showed today is 15% off, whether you watch now or this afternoon or in the wee hours of the morning until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have free shipping in the continental United States, anything over $100. What else do I have? I was thinking.
So, and we can also have your package picked up either in the Reno store or in the Carson City store. So you have that ability also. Other than that, you pretty much nailed it right there.
I forgot that if you have any questions or comments or curiosities we're live here right now, please send them in because Jared and Carrie are both on their computers. All your questions can be answered, and hopefully if it's something that maybe other people are interested in, they'll tell us about them and then we can answer them.
Even suggestions about things that we're showing, because sometimes we don't think about something other than what we are initially going for. So yeah, we love the suggestions.
Yes, and often sometimes with our notions, someone will make a comment, yeah, I have that and I love it. So give the testimony out there.
Yeah, absolutely, we love that.
And share with your friends on Facebook.
And YouTube. We're on YouTube, and we have Instagram. We're on all of them. Yep.
Yes. And you got to stay all the way to the end today. Very, very, very end, because it's Let's Stump Jared.
And I don't even know what she's doing, so it's going to be.
It's been 3 long weeks. I thought of this 3 weeks ago, and I've been preparing for it. So, yeah, here we go.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to jump right in, and we're going to start with the quilt that we have hanging behind us. This was a kit that we did last year, and it sold out.
Yes.
It sold out. What couple of panels we had left were gone the very next day, and so it was really, really exciting to be able to offer.
Springy and summery looking.
So now we can offer you the actual quilt that we use for the shop sample here in our store, and like we do every single time, we will never tell anybody you didn't make it.
No. We have a pretty teal on the back.
Yep. And it has a beautiful little floral and dragonflies that we did in regards to,
up there, in case you didn't notice,
for the quilting. It's super cute. This was Dragonfly Dance. If anybody knows the collection, it was called Dragonfly Dance. And so sure enough, little dragonflies all throughout little spots in the quilting that we did on it also.
Border. And the size of it is, let's see here.
55, Carrie?
Yes.
Good size throw.
And it's $114. It's $114. It is at 15% today. Usually we never discount our samples because they really are at a bargain price as it is. When you count the fabric, the backing, the batting, and the quilting, you put all that together, way over $114.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that's ready for you. We only got one. Snag it before it's gone, because whoever nails it first is going to get it.
All right.
So, well, we have a really fun apron pattern. I'm going to go ahead and jump start with this one. We got a really fun pattern. It's called Home and Garden Apron. And let me see so I can show you the front of it. It gives you an idea for using our border stripe fabrics. And there is a couple different ways you can make it. It shows 2 different ways of offering the pocket. We opted for the pocket down the front. Actually, it makes 3 little pockets out of the one. Is it showing out all in the picture, Jared?
What?
The apron?
Sorry, I was talking about something else. Yes, it is.
Okay. So you want to go and take it off, because I'm going to show.
Yes, we have to show it. Take it off.
It's actually reversible.
Yes, that was Elaine's idea. Isn't that cute? We put a stripe, a border stripe on the front and a border stripe on the back.
It's very cute.
So we have reversible. Are you able to put that on if you take that pin off?
If I take the pin off, sure. I know, I always wear aprons, and today I didn't wear one.
I know, so she's got to get one on.
I got to get my hair out of the way.
Okay.
So there you go. It's really cute. So this is with the lemon showing. Like I said, it's got the pockets in the front, and it is one pocket that we just sewed the lines down so you make 3. And then if you want to be fun and you don't want to have your lemons showing today,
If you're not on a lemon day
you can just flop it around
and you're feeling
and you can show
a little fruity.
all the fruits.
Yeah. Or you could put any kind of a backing on, but we
Oh,
thought
yeah.
this was really
We just
fun.
thought
to
it would
do
be kind
this
of fun
way.
to show different border stripes that we have. So all the border stripes that we have here in the shop, we put on sale.
Today, yes.
So I'm just going to grab, so since we have the lemons and we showed the border, which one do you want to show?
Oh, we showed that one, didn't we?
Yeah, and you know what?
I love the sunflower.
I know the sunflower one is so
Mine
pretty.
are both sunflowers. This is, and some of these boats are skinny, Elaine.
I know, they're going to be
so-
one-timer only.
Yes.
Also-
This one's a sunflower and butterflies. Did we mention how much fabric it would take off of
No,
that
we did
pattern?
not, but you know what? Because it requires, a couple different things, if you guys are interested, just give us a shout out and we'll make sure we give you the amounts that you need.
That's a cute.
But it also, one of the bonuses that's inside of this pattern is pot holders.
Oh, okay.
So with the remainder, you can also get you just buy a little bit more and you can make matching pot holders to go with your apron.
Make sure I'm right side up this way. This is a really cute one.
That one's
with
adorable.
The bicycle and the sunflowers. This would be a really cute reversible with the one I just showed, the sunflowers. And this one has the sunflowers, the bicycles, and a strip of vegetables in there.
It is really cute. Now, this was another one that we've had. This one went really well when it came in, and so here you got a bunch of butterflies and a beautiful floral. Now, you can make your stripe go either way. It's just a matter of buying the appropriate amount of fabric, and I will tell you, for the most part, it's a yard. Give or take, it's always going to be a yard.
This was going to
this
say, if they
particular-
want to buy today,
Yeah, it says
some of
7/8, but with the border fabric, you really do need a yard. That way you have that direction going.
and the same with the lining and
And then it's just a 3/8 of a yard for your pockets.
pocket, and 3/8 for your ties and pocket trim. All right, so that gives you a little bit of guidance.
You got the wines.
I got the 2 wines, yes. I got the grapes, and this would be a cute reversible also. But again, you don't have to do that. You can put a plain on the back. Something a little, it doesn't have to be another border stripe. But here's
Well,
the
and wine
grapes.
fabric for aprons are so popular.
It is. It is. Different colors of grapes.
And then this one's a nice, soft, clouded, I mean, this one's really pretty. And would be beautiful having matching pot holders, all kinds of great things. I mean, this is really common in a lot of households, having all the wine. It's really pretty.
Blueberries, and I didn't know which.
I didn't grab the
the
lemons.
lemons, yes.
Yeah, the lemon that we have. Oops.
This would be this is a really nice blueberry. Blueberries are supposed to be very, very healthy for you.
Full of
We're
antioxidants.
supposed to eat blueberries every day. Maybe if I wear a blueberry apron. I like blueberries, but I don't know.
You know,
It's
I
a
like
challenge
blueberries.
to eat them every day.
I like blueberries in things. I don't like to bite into a blueberry.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
texture thing.
blueberries.
I know it sounds really ridiculous, but that's just how it is. So this one's lemons. It does have words. It says fresh picked lemon picked. It just runs all around along the border. And this one we have a sample. I know for people who shop, we always have these in the table runners.
Yes, and
So
it
that
is
was
can be
kind of
used
why
as
we wanted to
table
show something different. 'cause
Different, yes. I think a lot of you probably know that the table runner, that we've shown that before.
The 60-degree.
But to do something different with these border fabrics. And you can use them for borders. That's why they were initially called border fabrics.
Exactly, exactly.
And I love this one. It's a different look for a border fabric, but it would be perfect on this apron. And when I looked at this one, happened to be next to some stripes. Big bold stripes would work on this really
Oh,
well
it would be
too.
really
pattern.
for like the ties and the neckties. That would be fast. Really exciting.
Or even just the main part, yes. Okay, I'll put this down here
Okay.
because we're going to be showing our new
Oh, our new batiks.
Hoffman batiks.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
skirt that
And I
out
put
of the
the
way.
colors kind of together so we could show the different shading.
Oh, okay,
of
perfect. Well, then
colors.
I will start with the yellows because they are just
So,
really
because when you go
bright.
onto our site, there are some different shades.
Aren't those beautiful? So pretty. And yellow is one of those colors that a lot of times we don't tend to buy a whole lot of.
But when
then
you
we need
need
them.
it, yes.
This bright one, this is a really, really sunny lemon yellow. Speaking of lemons. Very
And then I
pretty.
get to show the pink because I'm just a pink
I
girl.
know it. You swiped
I
it from me.
always get the pink. So there's the lighter shade and a little bit of darker shade. These are what I call, all of these are what I call batik solids. No, they're not solid, but for batiks, this is their solids.
It is. This is their, it's great because it doesn't matter where you cut it, you're going to get that beautiful color. More mottled than necessarily a print.
The dye lots of those are always consistent.
Oh, Carrie said, I don't know if you guys heard, but the dye lots are always consistent when it comes to these, so
Yes,
it
because
always
these are
works
what
out
they
really
call
well.
their 1895s, right? 1895s, which is their solids, Hoffman's solids. And so you could have bought this purple 1895 5 years ago, and you're going to get the same shade, no matter which one of these. You're going to get
You got it
the same.
okay?
I'm thinking. 3 different shades of purple. Top one's kind of purplish bluish. But we want you to know that there's
That periwinkle.
yes, periwinkle.
And then we've got
The
some
different
greens, more of the turquoise family. Really pretty. I love this one, how it's got so many different colors modeled through there within the same family. That
We
one's
were
really
getting
pretty.
a little low on our batik solids, so this is nice to get
Yes.
those all in and throw in some solids there. All right, I
Very,
think
very
that's
pretty.
it for
For those ones,
batiks.
well, since we're going into barbecue season now, because
Mm-hmm.
May kind of almost tends to kick off the whole barbecue season because of Memorial Day weekend.
Oh,
we
yes.
have a really fun, another fun one. There is this really cute barbecue, and it's a panel.
It's a panel, yes.
So I'll pull out the panel. It's a huge panel.
Yes, and Teresa was sewing her fingers to the bone yesterday.
She was working on it. She's still working on the oven mitts.
And you know what I loved about this? When I showed the little chicken. What's the little chicken says? Please read instructions for the mitts before you start. Before you cut.
Before you cut.
Because it says to cut a generous. But I just thought that was so
It's adorable.
cute of that little chicken right there, giving us that hint.
But these are great because everything's there. Other than if you would like to line it now, we line every time we make an apron, whether it be a panel apron or an apron that is a pattern, we line it
Instructions right there, just letting you know for the whole thing.
right there. And this is what we lined it with. It's really cute.
We just took part of the line of fabric.
Which is all right here.
Oh, I was going to say, didn't we bring that up?
I did. So I'll grab the words if you want to grab.
Does it feel weird
piggies.
for me to be on the side and laying on the side? Because it
It feels weird,
it
doesn't it?
feels weird. Does it look weird is what I want to know.
So this is the words that came with the line that we brought in.
Which we backed.
That's the black is what we used for the backing of the apron. I don't think we've decided what we're going to use for the lining of the hot pads.
mitts?
The mitts, excuse me.
Yeah, we might.
We might do the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll show it later when it's all
I get to show
done.
this one. Oh my goodness, I'm
I know,
so
the pigs
happy
are
I get to show
hysterical.
this one.
I love it.
Yes. Tossed pigs. What more does a barbecue need but a bunch of tossed pigs?
It's too cute.
And then it's on like a background that's kind of barbecue-y, saucy looking.
Well, and
Tossed pig on a barbecue.
tossed a pig on a barbecue.
So it says, I said, what's better than a tossed pig? And he said, a tossed pig on a barbecue.
Or a luau.
Luau, yes.
the ground.
Yes. That's what he's
Pulled pork,
thinking of.
yummy. Now there's also another panel. Here, I'm going to have you hold one of them.
Yes.
So the panel, we didn't want to cut the panel up, so we wanted to show you what they look like. So an entire panel comes with 6 pieces of a, why am I drawing a blank? Placemats. Oh my gosh. So it comes with 6 placemats. What we did was we made a set of 3. We just put one on either side. And I'll have Linda show you the other one. So you can actually, with one panel, make 6 and just use one of the coordinates as the backing.
And they all have,
Those look wider than your average.
they are a little wider.
Yeah.
I like that because
Jared likes them wider.
barbecues, you usually have so much crap.
It's a lot of food, it drips over, and you're, well, the biggest thing now is instead of using a plate when you're having barbecue, is to have those metal trays. You know, a little more rectangular trays to have for food for barbecue. That's become the big thing now.
Bigger plates. I love this one because it says, we do the porkin' and you do the forkin'. That was a cute saying.
This one
They
is
all
really
have
cute.
different sayings.
This one
on them.
is pit cooked barbecue today. I can't read today. And then the other side is the butcher's guide cuts of beef. So there, I'll show you that. So it really does show you all of the cow. And then the barbecue. So backyard barbecue, always be surrounded by good friends and better barbecue. And then, of course, what I just showed you was it's all about the barbecue. So really cute, and these are really easy to put together.
Yes.
Cut them apart,
Yeah, Teresa just, cut them apart, right sides together. She puts
a little bit of batting
in there.
Yep. And then turn it
surround,
around.
And then top
stitch it.
That's it. You could cross hatch them if you wanted to.
And then
But you
put some
don't have
binding
to.
around if you really want to get all that involved, but you don't have to. You can literally whip these together in about half an hour.
That's
I mean,
right.
honestly, as long as it takes you to cut them in so square, you're done.
Then on to the barbecue.
Right?
So you have time for that. Okay, we have some notions that we have shown before, but we haven't shown for a little while.
Right.
Basically what this is, right?
Exactly. Well, you know, springtime tends to bring spring cleaning, which tends to bring a little bit more organization.
Yes.
So I did grab a couple of things that I thought, you know, might help you with organizing. Or we do have a lot of people, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of new sewers. Moms
Yes.
bringing in their daughters, or
Yes.
grandmas bringing in
Yes.
their grandchildren. And so some of this kind of goes with that also. So the first thing that I snatched was our thread holder. I actually have several of these, and I love this because it is two-sided. You've got one side here that you pop open, and then you flip it over and you pop open this side. So it holds a tremendous amount of thread. It will hold all of your sizes of ice, you know, the, what was it, the
looks like it's
Orifil.
24 on each side.
Correct, thank you.
A lot
It will
of
hold a lot of thread, and you can just flip it over to get to the other side. And,
And we all have a lot of thread.
and these are great because A, it keeps your thread not dusty. It's going to keep it longer, and it just keeps it more organized, and it's not bouncing around unthreading itself. So even if you're going to a retreat, a class, or you're just moving from one room to the other, it has a handle, and you can just carry it along, and you can either stand them up or you can stack them.
All right.
Either way.
All right. This is, you know, when we first got these in, I did not get it. But this is a holder. I got that, but I was trying to figure it out. It's a thimble. It wasn't until I turned it around this way and I went, oh my gosh, that's a thimble. How cute. So it is a container that you can put a lot of your sewing pencils and markers in and keep them away from all those other pens and pencils that belong in the kitchen and not in the sewing room. So that's, I think, is really cute. And we have the misters, meaning spray misting. This one doesn't have anything in it, but what I love about these is whether you have the best press, or if you're using water, or if you're using the, what's your other, not the best press, but the other.
flatter?
Flatter, yes. I have one for each of those at home, and I just mark on the bottom which one they are, water, and they just have a great spray to them. There's no blob drops at all. It's just a nice fine mist, and this is wonderful.
And it's also great if you struggle pumping a spray bottle because you have arthritis in your hand.
yeah.
You don't have to pump. You just press one time and it just sprays all around. They're actually really good to use with water and lavender. And
Oh, there you
mist your
go.
face.
Oh, there you go.
They're great for summertime.
Multi-use for anything. is good.
Absolutely. Now, I know this probably seems kind of funny, but I was teaching my granddaughter how to play Go Fish. And she loves to play in my craft sewing room, and she just loves to play with all the fabrics. And we have these cards that are for, quilting, and it is a Lori Holt design, so it's going to be all of her fun stuff. And I thought, well, how cute when we bring our, our grandbabies into our room to start showing them how to sew or craft. Here's some cards.
Or with your girlfriends.
Either way, yeah.
Girlfriends, let's get a card game going.
Exactly.
And we only have a couple of those left.
We do only have a couple left, yeah.
So,
Same with
All
that
right.
little
I'll let you
thimble.
grab the last one.
All right, so last but not least, we have some sewing baskets. Now, these I love. I know some people kind of feel they're maybe a little old-fashioned, but they are
I think they're
some of the
great.
best things to have.
Like you said, we've gotten a lot of moms and grandmas coming in with daughters and granddaughters.
And see how
what
cute it
a
is.
cute little gift to give them is
Yeah, you can
something
fill it all up.
Fill it up with some things that you know they're going to need.
Mm-hmm.
A little pair of scissors, some basic threads.
And this one's cute. It says so
Unfortunately, a seam ripper. Everyone needs one of those.
And we were showing some really good seam rippers last week. But these are just fantastic. I mean, I have mine. Mine literally sits right next to my sewing machine.
Yes.
And holds so much. In fact, it holds so much I kind of forget what I put in the bottom. So that is perfect for organizing and keeping all of your goodies in one place and right there at your hand.
We're going to go over to Jared now for Let's Stump Jared. I'm going to stump him. He doesn't think I can, but I'm going to. So stay to the end. It might take a little while, but I think I'll get there. And again, 15% off of everything we showed today. Go to our website. You can see it here. And you can also, I forgot to tell them to make a phone call also when we're
That's right.
open if you have any
Number's
questions.
right below us.
But go to our website, go to our live and the sales, and you'll see everything that we showed today. And also, while you're on our website, go to everything else that we are showing and selling, because we have lots of fabrics and notions on there.
Well, and there's a lot of supporting fabrics if you don't want to use another border for your to line your apron.
Yes.
So, but please remember to heart our video, and please share our video. Share the love.
Okay, let me go get Jared now.
Bye. See you next week.
Alrighty, good morning, everybody.
He's sweating.
have
He's
a-
scared. He's sweating.
No. We have a lovely bunch of embroidery stabilizers in front of us, so I have a sneaking suspicion that we are doing stuff on embroidery.
Embroidery. If you're not embroidered, just stick with us because this is going to be good.
Yes, and
Okay.
some of the stuff can even be used in quilting as well too,
Yes.
depending on the application. So.
Yes, exactly. All right.
what are we doing?
Are we going to start out? Okay. I'm going to start. I have some items and that I feel are common things that people would want to embroider at one time or another. And Jared is going to tell us how to stabilize them.
Oh, great.
No peeking. Okay, we're going to start. This just happens to be a little Kimberbell. She used to have some onesies out there. And I found this one the other day, and I thought, oh, this would be a good one to take in. Because it is a stretch knit, just like, his top on or my top on. And it's basically, think of it as a stretch knit top.
Well, it's kind of like a t-shirt, too.
Yeah,
right?
t-shirt,
I
yes.
unmute myself.
Yes.
I don't know if I did. Okay.
And this
yeah,
one's-
kind of like a t-shirt.
This one has embroidery on it. I don't know how well they can see it, but it also has a leather thing on it, which is a decorative, but it's embroidered on.
Now, one thing with embroidery, though, you got to keep in mind, there's a lot of differences in just how dense is your design. Like, for example, this one, real light embroidery design, has basically just some stitching around it, but nothing really like fill, like a satin stitch
Does
or
the
anything
camera
like
need to
that,
come
right?
closer? It looks really far away.
You can if you
Just
like.
a tad, Carrie, please. A tad. Well, you don't want to chop his head off, but
Right there. It's
Okay.
probably good, yeah.
yeah, a little bit better.
So, yeah, that
Thank
works.
you.
So right here, you can see that it's just kind of some really light embroidery designs, nothing too crazy. Just light, not too dense. So even with that, though, my recommendation on this one is probably going to be a no-show mesh. No-show mesh cutaway, okay, because one thing that you really have to keep in mind in embroidery is that you're not only stabilizing your design, you're stabilizing the fabric itself, right? So on a knit design like this, you've got stretch and everything else, and that stretch is going to distort your design. So we want to stabilize that, and that's why I like to use no-show mesh. And preferably, a good rule of thumb is that if you can fuse it, use it. So on
Yes.
this guy, I would use a fusible no-show mesh, and that's going to fuse to this fabric, prevent that fabric from stretching or anything during your during
That's
your
important for
embroidery.
a stretch.
And then
Fabrics.
yeah, and that'd be about it.
Well, what about on the backing?
So on backing,
you know-
especially on something like this, but especially because this is a baby onesie,
Even on adults, though.
on adults too. I mean, you
Here's
tend to
one
not,
here.
I don't have it on here, but I think that's just because they try to save costs on stuff. There's a great product right here called Dreamweave. This is Dreamweave Ultra. Now, this is really cool because this is, and we'll get a little bit more into this one probably later if I had to guess. I'm going to have multiple of these.
Maybe. You don't know.
Dreamweave is also stretchy, 6-way stretch on there as well too. So for other applications, it helps with the stretch on there.
Yes.
But the big thing on something like this is a fusible. So after we have done the embroidery, and this has, you got this nasty rough.
It's rough. It's
you got
rough.
this nasty roughness on the
Depending
back.
on how sensitive your skin is.
Yep. You can fuse that Dreamweave Ultra on the back, and it's a very, very, very soft finish to it. So that way it's soft on the sensitive skins.
Yeah.
Nice and silky on there.
Yeah. All right. I'm starting off easy on him. Shh. Don't tell him. All right. My next one is something that, I mean, this is a little fluffy. A lot of people, one of the first things they want to do is towels or tea towels, and they're a
Yep.
little thicker.
Well, tea towels are different than this.
Yes.
So
Well, this is more like a towel. Yes.
more like a towel.
This
Yes,
happens to be a
towel
blanket, but
or a
it's, thicker.
blanket. This is kind of like a minky blanket. So on this guy, you're
Well,
going to want to
it's a
use a
woven.
couple
I
different
think
things,
it's-
right? First of all, this is going to be a little hard to hoop, and you get something that's called hoop
And
burn.
And it's stretchy.
And it's stretchy, right? So again, we want to stabilize that fabric.
Yeah.
So if you guys have ever heard what hoop burn is, basically what hoop burn is if I took this and I put this into my embroidery hoop, one, it's going to be incredibly hard to do because it's so thick. Secondly, when I take this out, I'm going to see the impression of that hoop, and it could last forever.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah, because it kind of, I don't know why, it kind of stretches the fabric, I guess.
Yeah,
kinda,
yeah.
right?
It will do that to your towels. Yeah.
So you want to avoid hooping it. So with that being said, we've got a couple options on this guy. We have a perfect stick cutaway, and I don't have the other one in stock right now, but it's a wet and stick cutaway. Okay, two different options. Now, both of them you're going to hoop it the same way. So I'm only going to hoop just the stabilizer itself, and you want it pretty taut inside of that hoop.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take what we're doing here, and I'm going to stick it onto that stabilizer. So that way it's going to stabilize my fabric, stabilize my design. And the difference between a perfect stick cutaway and the wet and stick is wet and stick is a little bit more delicate on your fabrics. So if you have more delicate fabric, you know, maybe a knit fabric, something like that.
Something very thin,
yeah.
very thin knit.
You can actually re-wet the stabilizer to be able to peel it away. So it's very nice, that way you can cut it away, cut around it, and if you need to more, you can just wet it again to help peel it away to give yourself that nice finished look. And additionally, on these guys, and one thing I didn't talk about on the other one, toppers are always a great, great, great addition, okay, to all embroidery, not just these, because this one you absolutely have to use it, but it's helpful for all embroidery because it really helps keep the dimension of those stitches up, right?
Because it could
And
really
on
sink
this
into
one,
this, yeah.
because it is so fluffy and towels with that pill, it's going to sink into that design. So depending on which, we have a heat and gone stabilizer and a wet and gone topper, I mean. So if you're using a towel, I would probably use heat and gone because as soon as you get the wet and gone wet, it disappears. So use your heat and gone, all you do is touch it with the edge of an iron and it just disappears into oblivion. So the toppers are going to help keep those stitches up on top.
And not
of the
sink
fibers.
into them. Okay, he's doing good, but like I said, oh, and since we did that, I was going around the store and I found a minky blanket.
What's gonna be like the same thing. That's
Yeah,
cheating.
yeah.
That's like the exact same
Okay,
thing.
well, you could, that was part of the test. That was part of the test. But the thing also is you have the option of embroidering before you put it together or after also. You want to put a little name or something on here.
So, yeah, the one nice thing about Minky, too, to prevent having to use, like the previous blanket was finished, right? Baby blanket there. This one, you put it together, you have two
Yeah,
layers,
front
right?
and back.
So you
Yes.
could embroider just the quilt top first, and that way you avoid having that roughness on the
Yeah.
back of it because you got it covered up by the second layer of Minky.
And we have Minky classes here and Minky kits, but if you really want a fast and easy gift, whether it's this size of a blanket or a full-size blanket, a front to back, sew it together, top stitch around it. Some people do a little square in the middle just to kind of hold it together. This one doesn't have it. You obviously don't need to have it, but fast. So, okay, is it right? Okay, I'm going to make it a little, we're staying on the blankie. We're staying on the blankie train for right now, but this one's going to be a lot lighter weight.
Oh.
It's getting a little harder. This one is a gauze. Gauze. Very nice, thin little gauze.
It's just really lightweight. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Are we getting there? Are we going to stump him yet?
So I would probably say you have two different ways of stabilizing this depending on your embroidery, okay? And this is where the denseness of your embroidery is really going to come into play, I'd say, because this is so thin, you don't want
see-through.
that to be, like, you don't want to see, if you use a heavier stabilizer, you don't want to have a shadow of it coming through your stabilizer. So my first pick, depending on the design, is going to be, I would say, Stitch and Wash. So Stitch and Wash is a really cool stabilizer right here because it's a 2-in-1. You have like half of it is a water soluble fiber and the other half of it is a non-soluble fiber. Okay, you can also get this infusible. So again, if you can fuse it, use it. That's a good motto for all stabilizers. So this Stitch and Wash is going to be really nice because when I go and remove the stabilizer, so this is, what is this, a tearaway? Yes, tearaway. So I can remove all my excess stabilizer, and then all I do is just throw it in the wash, and it's going to basically clean up all those edges, but it's going to leave all, and by doing that, it's going to like deteriorate your weave, so all those non-soluble fibers that are left over are going to dissipate also, but the ones that are underneath your design are going to stay there. Because it's stitched down with your embroidery. So Stitch and Wash is going to be a really nice one because then it's going to leave you no shadow in the back of it basically. But if you are doing something a lot heavier, you are going to have to upgrade. So if you're doing like a full fill design.
Well, I think that what comes into that is it also depends on your material that you're embroidery on. You sometimes can't do a super dense. You could not do a really dense one on this.
And even if you did,
this has to be a light.
It just wouldn't look good.
No, you want something a little more light and airier. Is that such a word? Airier. Airy.
More light and airy.
Yes. Airy.
But if you did a more dense design, I would use a no-show mesh or cutaway. No-show mesh, yeah. Power mesh.
Okay. All right.
That was...
Yeah. Well, let's get into, let's see, something else. Oh, a lot of us, there's a lot of spandex type fabric out there now. And this one just, my grandson has, he wears when he goes swimming, he likes to wear the little rash guards. Okay. And so I brought this one in, and it's stretchy. It's sort of like the, anything with spandex. A lot of ladies are wearing a lot of spandex type fabric. And
that's true.
To embroider on spandex. Where are we?
So this one is going to be, you want to avoid the hoop burn again. So this one, you don't want to hoop, I would say, because stretchy stuff tends to get that hoop burn. So this one, I would use a wet and stick or a perfect stick again, depending on what your final application of that is. Like this is water soluble, so I would use a wet and stick on this one probably.
Yeah.
And again, I would use Dreamweave on the back of that. Because Dreamweave is going to help with maintain the stretchiness. But the big thing also is on your needle. I would change, you do not want to use a sharp needle on this.
Oh,
so you
yeah,
definitely
that's
want
true.
to use, so don't use your generic embroidery needle. Use a jersey knit
Okay.
stretch fabric needle as well too.
Okay. All right.
Am I doing okay?
I'm going to get him.
Just trying.
All right, so I want to do lots of denim going on. Lots and lots of denim going on. Denim jackets.
All right.
Look at how little it is.
I know. Look how little that is. Look at the little pockets on the front. How cute.
So denim is an interesting one. You can get away with a little bit more because denim itself is a more stable fabric. Remember back to what I said, you really want to stabilize the fabric also, not just your embroidery design. That's more what you have to think about, more so than your design.
Yeah, a lot of people put something down the back of their jean jackets. You could put something on their little collars. You just have a lot of fun with it.
So denim, because your fabric is really stabilized already, if you're doing your average embroidery, you can get away with a lighter one. For denim, I'd probably recommend just a heat and stay. Where are you? Heat and stay fusible tearaway right here. Just because tearaway is going to be easy to clean up. It's a lightweight embroidery stabilizer, so it's relatively cheaper for you. And it's just going to be good, lightweight to use on your denim. And then, of course, if you are going to do a much denser one, like I've seen really dense floral embroidery designs on some ladies' jackets, stuff like that, I would probably use a fusible no-show mesh on that one. Just because to give you that more stitch stability.
All right. All right. Well, this one's going to be a little more. Sweaters.
All right.
Sweaters. I got a little sweater
Sweaters are
here.
fun.
I don't know if you can see the, it's sweater type material.
In little.
Yep. So sweaters and knits, okay? First of all, you're going to want to change your needle again, okay? Because you're going to want to...
Because you might want to put like a little initial on there. And, you know, an adult women and men might want a little...
Yes.
Oh, a bear would be cute, yes.
Yeah. So this one you really, really, really need to think about stabilizing the fabric because unfortunately your fabric is not stable whatsoever in a knit, right? So
No.
even on this guy, I
It
would
stretches
use...
both ways.
Yes, I would use a no-show mesh because that is what's going to really keep that fabric from distorting during your embroidery. Now, the other thing too with this is because it's so thick and knits generally are thicker, you want to fuse it from the back side and not the front side because it's just not going to do you good. Unless you got one of those sweet Laura stars that we have that will probably, you can fuse from anywhere on those
Oh my
ones.
gosh, they're wonderful.
So you can, that way it's going to stabilize that on there. Now, the next thing though is, this is where sometimes embroidery becomes a science and you really got to know your stuff.
Yeah, we're getting there.
So next thing is you're back to hoop burn on this.
Yeah,
Stretchy.
yeah. Sweaters are getting more difficult, the
Yes.
more advanced embroidery.
So I've already stabilized my fabric with that no-show mesh, right? But then what I would do after that is I would use a perfect stick or a wet and stick again, hooped inside of my hoop, and I would stick
Stick it
this
on.
onto my sticky stabilizer.
You need to do a lot more sticking on than hooping of projects than
Yes.
you realize. You
Yes.
really do.
Just because it really, the late Debbie Homer, she said
Oh gosh,
her absolute favorite stabilizer for most all of her designs would be Perfect Stick Tearaway. Because
Yep.
it prevents you
And
having
I
to
learned
do
that from
everything.
her. That's when she was a big person with that.
Yeah. So Perfect Stick is awesome. So yes, now we've got that stuck in, and then again, you'd absolutely want to use a topper on this one. So depending on your final use, you're going to want to, most of the time you're going to use Heat and Gone. It's rare that you'd use a water soluble, maybe on something like silk that you don't really wash pretty much ever. You'd use a water soluble, so that way you don't have to use an iron on your silk,
Oh, yeah.
whatever,
Yes.
and you can use the water on there. But definitely use a topper on there as well too.
And it's a little bit of an experiment with sweaters.
Yeah.
And especially sweaters, probably everything, but it's something you want to try a few times before you get your heirloom sweater from grandma or whatever and put it on. All right, well, geez, I'm getting down here now. All right, bags. Whoopsie, you're lit. There you go. Lots of ladies are making leather bags or purchase.
jackets.
This happens to be, yes, this happens to be a little leather bag that you can embroider on. So how do you embroider on leather?
So leather is completely unstable, and unfortunately the leather you cut it, right? When every single time that you stitch through it. So basically you have to make a new fabric per se. This one's a little nice because you do have that canvas on the backside, but on this one I would definitely use a Perfect Stick cutaway, definitely on the back. On the front, I would also probably even use a stitch and wash as well too, just to help stabilize both sides of that design. And if you have access to the back of that leather, I would absolutely fuse it to that leather.
What kind of a needle?
I would not use it, well, that's a good question.
We're getting close here.
I would avoid using a leather needle because they're so big and you don't want to absolutely demolish that leather. You want to do as minimal damage as you possibly can. So I would use the smallest needle that you possibly could without it breaking, and I would turn your machine to the slowest speed that it could go.
I know. So many of you ladies are the pedal to the metal or full speed ahead. All right, I just have one more thing. And this is more of a, how do you hoop this? I'm going to bring some of my items up here, just to remind everybody.
Onesie, baby jacket.
All the different stuff we've got going on here. Oops, your wheel is on my thing.
Okay.
And in case anyone didn't know, this is actually a little thing. I thought this was so cute. I saw this the other day. You hook this onto the back of a stroller, and it actually hooks onto that. And I have one more thing that I want to know. How do you hoop this? How do you hoop these?
How do you embroider on that?
I don't know. Is Jared stumped?
Yeah, you embroider by hand. There's no way you could use a Perfect Stick, but what are you going to embroider on unless you take the whole thing apart?
Is Jared stumped? I mean, Carrie had an answer.
Yeah, you embroider by hand.
Okay. So, I've got all my things here. I want to know, is there some kind of a theme going on here? We got a baby blanket. We got a baby blanket.
Oh, there's a
We got a blanket blanket. We got a baby outfit. We got a baby onesie. We got the baby shoes. And now we have a date, November 11th, 2025.
Oh my gosh! None of
said, I can't wait to see their faces. He says, they'll never catch on. They'll never. I said, yes,
And they
they will.
didn't.
I wasn't sure. I didn't want to say anything. I was going to keep my big mouth shut since I blow it all the time.
All right, so we do have one more thing for Jared
Oh my God.
that he gets to do.
Why do I have to do this one? I guess I'll do this one.
Yep, you will do this one. As of last night, hold on, stop. Jared gets to do the reveal. Which one is it? Ruffle butt's, little hat.
Little bow.
Anybody that wants to take a guess online, wait,
If you're online,
Who, you're saying a girl?
Girl.
Carrie.
What's Elaine saying?
I'll say it, girl.
Okay, the girls are winning it. I don't know, does anybody online? Well, there might be a prize of some kind, I don't know. Which one?
You.
Which
I'm getting
one?
my prize.
Yes.
Getting my job.
Yes, good job. All right, should we let Jared be the
Cat
one?
Wyden says girl, so we're 100% girls.
100% girl, okay.
All
Here we
right,
are.
well.
Hold them both up and you get to put
Say drop
one
the one.
behind your back
Drop the one that's not.
and one in front.
Could be this one.
Oh, here we go.
Suzanne Wilbur and also Sue and also says girl, so we're
Could
still 100% girl.
be,
Could be.
yeah.
Everyone says that. We got
Barb
a
says boy.
Who says the boy?
Barb Sebastian says boy.
Okay, we got one boy, yes,
All
because
right,
she's going the
well.
opposite direction.
Too bad, guys. It's So yes, I'm very excited. November 11th, 2025, we are having my first baby. Our first baby. But we're
Told you it
excited.
was going to be an exciting. I waited 3 weeks to do this.
Oh
and
my gosh.
I stumped him. He didn't know how to have to do it by
That's
hand.
just cheating. That one is just cheating.
It was not cheating. It was not cheating. All right, so
Well, thank you guys very, very much. I hope you guys learned something about embroidery stabilization. Even though this was all baby stuff, you can absolutely carry it over to all kinds of different
Yes,
things. So,
yes.
Um,
it was fun preparing for this.
yes, absolutely. There you go. So thank you all very much for joining. If you guys have any questions, give me a call. The phone number is below. And
Proud grandma going on here.
Grandma is happy over here. So other than that, guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our videos, and just watch them every week because you never know what's going to come up.
Never know what's going to happen.
So, all right, guys, thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Bye.